This country has given me everything. This is not only a beautiful country, beautiful people. They are very approachable, hospitable. I mean, you cannot find any such people in anywhere. I've traveled everywhere. That is one thing, and we have freedom to do whatever. Within the limits where we can do whatever we feel. So I'm very happy. In fact, I don't want to go back.
Okay.
I always say I've sent thousands of bodies.
People, yeah.
If I go back, it will be like anybody else either in the coffin or the government has to send me back. That this is over. You are aged now. You go back. I don't want to go back. Many people have helped me. Means I have helped thousands, but many people have helped me to reach out to such people in distress. But most of them have never asked anything in return. Most of them wanted to remain anonymous. Humanity is alive.
Okay.
The human beings around you who are sympathetic to others' needs. That's the biggest lesson I've learned.
He's called the people's champion. They say his phone never stops ringing. If you want any help in Oman, call him. Mr. PM Jabir, welcome to SpotLight.
Thank you, Nijat. My pleasure.
Thank you. Let me ask you, you've been doing social work for the last more than 30 years, in fact. To be precise, I think it all started in 1988 with the start of Kairali Club in Oman. Looking back, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned?
The lesson, in short, is humanity is alive.
Okay.
The human beings around you who are sympathetic to others' needs. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. Okay. I believe in humanity and human beings.
Is it still there? I mean, humanity. When we talk about humanity in this sort of in this age of social media and things where
See, there are people who misuse all this, but still it is there. Many people have helped me. Means I have helped thousands, but many people have helped me to reach out to such people in distress. But most of them have never asked anything in return. Most of them wanted to remain anonymous.
Okay.
They never wanted to come in open. They have been helping me in every sort.
Okay.
But that's why I said humanity is alive. There are hundreds of human beings, thousands of human beings.
It's a mix, right?
It's a mix,
Expats
yeah.
Yes. Okay. See, you have a wide range of. I would say you have an army of volunteers, branched out in various parts of Oman. How do you work? Let's say if someone calls you from a far-off place like Ibri at 12 a.m. in the midnight for help, what do you do? How do you operate?
I have my volunteers everywhere. Okay. They are normal, ordinary workers, mostly blue-collar workers. So, if anything happens in any particular area, I ask my volunteer in that area to reach that spot and help the person. And this is a network which I have built over the years. And if I have no one in that any particular area, I contact the nearest location. Okay. Then I make a contact there, whatever happens. I built it like this. If somebody has died in a place, people contact me normally. Okay. So next time when anything happens, the person whom I help for that place becomes my volunteer, obviously.
Okay. So next time when you call them,
I ask them. Yeah.
What actually motivated you to start all this? We're talking about 30 years back.
Yeah.
When there is no communications in terms of mobile connectivity, there wasn't during that period. We're talking about 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
So obviously, unlike now, things were difficult at that point of time.
Right.
But so what actually motivated you to do all this?
See, I was an activist back in India when I was a child.
Okay.
I was very active in children's group and all. Okay. So when I came here, I found there was no one to help people in distress, especially blue-collar workers. I experienced it myself when I was once in the embassy long back. Somebody came from a place called Iski, and the embassy official was very rude to him.
Okay.
So there was no one. So I started like that. And for me, there was no role model. There was nobody before me doing this.
Okay.
So I built my own network. I built on my own system, like that. So this is why, but they suffer a lot, and there's no one. I just give them advice.
Okay.
I give just they want something. I mean,
Sort of
some
relief. Okay.
Somebody is there to listen to me. That's what they want. Somebody is there to help me. So no one was there. Maybe somebody was doing, but I was not aware, and no one knows. I could not find anybody in that time, a point of time in the embassy or anywhere. Then people started, joining me. Many people joined me here in Muscat and everywhere.
And that's why they call you Jabir Ikka. Ikka in Malayalam means brother, elder brother. Right?
Yeah.
Just to add on to what we were talking, when communications were very difficult back then, in 90s, how do you used to communicate?
See, communication, there was no mobile phones, and even telephones were not very much, there. So I used mostly telephones, and I used to travel a lot.
Those payphones that we see on.
Yes,
Okay.
they used payphones and called. They were
Pages, yes.
pages. So then I used to travel a lot, everywhere, every village, every vilayat in Oman, to find people. I used to get calls, and I used to go there. Then came Kairali channels Pravasalogam.
Okay.
That is where that was the.
That was in the mid.
That was in late 90s, 2000.
Okay.
That is about 12 or 30 years after I started doing this. Then again, this happened. Communication was made easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we are sitting in the social media era,
Yeah.
where things are pretty easy. I think even when it comes to your work, it makes your life more easy, right? To communicate with people. I think it's all on your fingertips. It's just that one post that you need to post on your social media, and then you probably will get. I think recently I saw a post of you asking for help for I think air ticket, and then immediately people start coming in numbers and trying to help you. But at the same time, like you were saying, these days people also misuse the medium. How do you see that?
See, I've used social media, positively, very positively, because people react to. It's very easy to find. It's the easiest way. Instead of calling so many people, just post it in the social media, and there are people. I've received so much help from my friends. Mostly it's my friends.
Okay.
But nowadays what happens is there are many who are misusing it. Maybe whatever reason. And there's no transparency in that. If you open an account in your personal name and collect money for somebody else, there's no transparency. You are accountable to the public from whom you collect. So one thing is there should be transparency. A third party should verify all this. So I am very careful in doing all this, because my accounts I don't collect any money directly. Mostly mine is helping people in other way, like advising, taking them to labor, taking them to the embassy and all. Collection of money I never use. I ask them to, whoever wants to help a person, give it directly to the person. That's it. But now in Kerala especially, back in India especially, there are many people who are misusing this. And what we lose the faith. Others who are doing it lose faith of the public. Oh, that man is misusing, and this man also should be doing that. So it's a platform which should be used in a prudent manner.
Well, we also talk about the transparency of social media. You are also constantly being judged by people of your work, things that you do. I'm sure you get more brickbats than appreciation. How do you take all that? When these negative criticisms that comes your way, how do you take that?
See, I get a lot of negative criticisms, and I got even death threats for helping.
That's very
helping people. And it's mostly like this. If I have to help a person, there's somebody else in the other end. So that man or that person, that company, that whoever, they get offended, and they become my critic. So such people come together normally. They create problems, but I don't mind. I've been getting all this.
React to it.
I don't react to it. I just ignore that. I don't. There was a case, even a case filed against me.
What was that?
That was about 4 or 5 years back, because I helped a person who was wandering in the street. So I took him to the embassy, gave him shelter. He was half deaf. I gave him shelter. I even sent him after that. So the person who brought him here was another Indian. He filed a case against me in this one. So such things happen. Then they found there was no substance in the case, and it was dismissed. So these things happen. And death threats, so many calls I get. I just ignore it.
So when these kind of death threats and all come your way, when people
Yeah.
call you and threaten you, how do you react to it?
I just ignore it. That was also that came from India. So here, if you want one calls, I have this
we
one.
have
The call from India, some internet call and threatened me that I'll kill you, I'll do that. Okay, I just ignored it. But my friends were warning me. See, be very careful. They gave me some protection for some days. It all happens. It's all part of
But
the
when
game.
this sort of criticism constantly comes your way,
Yeah.
At some point did you ever thought, why should I do all this,
See, there are more, more people who are with me than the critics. If I feel disappointed, the very next moment I get another call, sir, please help me, another call. So I forget.
Okay.
Somebody has criticized me, somebody has written something against me. So I forget. I have no time to think about it.
But so what motivates you the most then?
I get great satisfaction in doing this.
Okay.
Nothing else. I get great satisfaction by helping. See, when I watch a film, I get very much, emotional. But same story, I have hundreds of same story
Yes,
here.
true.
I don't get emotional then. But once I finish it and I look back, I get emotional. See, Shija, Dasan, all this. There's so many who are in very, very, very difficult situation. I helped. These are stories for the film.
I think someday we should see that
Yeah.
happening. Social service to me, it's about giving hope.
Yeah.
It's hope, in fact.
Yeah.
So when someone approaches you, in a way you're giving hope. What if, I'm sure there might be occasions where you probably may not be able to help with the kind of situations that you
Yeah.
might be in. During those times, what do you do?
See, I have written in my Facebook page also. I have seen sadness, I have seen torture, everything. Most of all, I have seen hope. I give hope to a person.
Okay.
A person who comes to me with any distress call, what he needs first is hope. They approach me after losing every hope. So first I give them hope. Maybe I won't be able to settle it fully, but with that he gets some kind of courage to face the issue. There are hundreds of cases which I could not help. Jail cases, some jail cases and all. But I give them hope. With that hope, they themselves try to come out of this. So what one needs is somebody, some shoulder to cry on.
Again, like journalism, social service is also a thankless job.
Yeah.
Very rarely people go back and then, or after they receive that sort of help, they call back and say, look, thank you so much. Obviously, you're not expecting anything of that sort, but I'm sure there will be occasions where you have to face such kind of things where people just ignore you after.
For me, once they cross the immigration counter,
Your job is over.
My job is over.
Okay.
But I ask them, just send me message that you have reached. Only 20-25%
That comes in.
They do that, but others just forget. I don't mind. But there are thankless ones. There are many thankless ones who just ask, "Who are you?" After seeing me, after
There were occasions like that.
there were occasions like that also. They don't. I mean, they pretend.
Okay.
I mean, I have an experience. There was a very good big business woman here
Okay.
whom I helped, and she was in very much. I mean, she was in a bankrupt position.
Situation.
So I helped her, not by financing, but somehow I helped her. Then after 3-4 years, she became again
Okay. Back to normal.
back to normal and became. After some years, she.
Does that hurt you?
I know.
That's what I asked you previously.
Yeah.
You know, at some point you must have thought, you know, why should I do all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have thought like that on very rare occasions. Why should I do? See, my family also have been, not only me, my family has been getting all this criticisms for
Okay.
this. I mean, they were, they get hurt. My family get hurt.
So what do you tell them at that point?
They know
Okay.
every story. I narrate every story to my wife.
Okay.
Everything, especially when a woman calls. I know she knows everything about that.
Mm.
So there are many things people talk about me, but my wife knows everything. My
Okay.
daughters know.
Okay.
I mean, they are also involved. So they why should we do? But
True.
they have never discouraged me.
Okay.
They have never discouraged me. Instead, they have encouraged me only. I am not getting anything in return. In fact, I have 37 years in Oman. I have no savings, nothing. I am just like any other ordinary. I have a decent job. In spite of that, I have nothing. I am like any other worker. But I don't mind. This is my life is like this.
Has the cases gone up in the last years? I mean, I know in the 80s and 90s, obviously you face a lot of.
Now, the thing is, there are many people who are ready to help.
Okay.
As I said, there was no role model for me, but now there are many people who help. They are reaching out to people. That is
Okay.
one reason. Cases like what we used to get in the past are not much there.
Okay.
But now the non-payment of wages cases are
That's
there.
on the
due
rise,
to the
yes.
economic
True.
situation.
That happens.
Yeah, and there are systems in place.
Okay.
There are very good systems in place. The local government system, Indian government system, there are systems in place. So people have, they can get resolved. The problem can get resolved through the systems only. There was no proper system. Even the systems they were not in the proper order. Now there are proper system. So there is, and if you think like that, the cases have come down, but there are still back wage cases. Mostly back wage cases, back wages.
So what's your routine like? You know, you get, I think more than 50 calls a day. So how do you plan it, and what's your routine like?
See, when I get calls from interior areas, the moment I get call, I call my contact person in that and ask him to reach out to the person. Or otherwise, I note it down. If I'm busy, I have my work to do. So I note it down and ask my people, or I go myself, or I call back and take down their details. Then I have, if it is related to embassy, I talk to the embassy. If it is related to the manpower, I send my man to the manpower with him. If it is hospital cases, my volunteer reaches there. If it is death cases, death case, my man or I personally go there. So this is like that. It is. I'm used to it. I cannot explain it. I'm used to it now.
Okay.
That's how.
And so, how do you find time for your family?
Family, earlier I used to keep Thursdays for them.
Okay.
Now mostly Fridays. Fridays I am very busy. In fact, Fridays are the busiest day.
Okay.
But they are used to it. My wife is with me always.
Okay.
So my wife, children are grown up, so they know how I do. I find time. In spite of that, I manage my time.
Okay.
I'm very particular about the punctuality. If there's a meeting fixed, if there's an appointment fixed, I reach there before time.
Okay.
So I manage time like that.
If one advice that you can give to these people who are doing social service now, I mean, through social media or otherwise, what will that be?
See, this is an area which you are handling with human beings, not anything else, not any material. It's human beings. So treat human beings as human beings. No, don't treat human beings as tools for your own
Needs.
needs. That's my first advice, because there are many people, genuine and non-genuine. There are many genuine people here in Oman only, expatriates. Oman is also expatriates. So you are handling human beings, treat them as human beings. Don't misuse this one. And that is one. Second is, as I said, transparency. You should, everything should be transparent. Everything should be in a direct manner.
So looking back 37 years, I think,
Yeah.
how was it, the whole journey?
See, I am very happy. One thing is this country. This country has given me everything. This is not only a beautiful country, beautiful people. They are very approachable, hospitable. I mean, you cannot find any such people in anywhere. I have traveled everywhere. That is one thing. And we have freedom to do whatever. Within the limits where we can do whatever we feel. So I am very happy. In fact, I don't want to go back.
Okay.
I always say I have sent thousands of bodies.
People, yeah.
If I go back, it will be like anybody else either the COVID or the government has to send me back. That this is over. You are aged now. You go back. I don't want to go back. I want to stay here only.
You're used to this place.
I have more friends and
Here in Oman
than in India. So I'm very happy here, very content.
So there is no stopping PM Jabir.
No, there's no stopping. This will continue. Whether you criticize me, you threaten me, but I'll continue. I'm a fighter.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So if you're having a distress situation, or if you need any help in Oman, there's only one name, Mr. PM Jabir. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Nishad. I'm privileged.
Thank you.